Alion has challenged me to a game. I have accepted. I'm playing as white, and this is going to be interesting because Alion has created an engine, and we are going to test the engine. So I've made a move, and I'm guessing that at Alion's end, he's put this move into the engine. The engine is going to determine the best response to this move. The engine's going to tell Alion, and then Alion is going to input it into the game. So the engine has chosen D1. And I can say I don't know how that is considered a strong move. But you know what? I'm not going to say anything until the game is over. And I will say good luck to you as well. Um, so the objective here is to create lines of four. And from D1, you can create a line of four along the bottom. There's a few of those. You can create a line of four diagonally. There's a few of those. And you can create a line of four moving up in this direction. However, from D1, as opposed to if we go to E4, there's fewer options. So it's much easier to block. So just because we're trying something new, I'm going to block. And this engine is not going to be able to build a line on this diagonal unless this Migo is removed, which could happen if I create a Yugo along this diagonal or along this horizontal, and this piece is removed from the board, then that would open up this diagonal. But there's only one, two diagonals that you can build a Yugo with, or a line of four, using D1. So right out of the gate, I look at this and I think, okay, that's to me not what I would consider an optimal opening move. But I'm not an engine. Maybe the engine knows something that I don't know, and maybe this is an optimal move. Because if the engine creates a a diagonal line in this direction, then it could get a Yugo on F3. It could get a Yugo on B3 or A4. It could be considering building a horizontal line here on the second row, but okay, it's not particularly strong yet. Well, I I know where you're coming from because none of my AIs are particularly strong either. They know the rules, they know some of the concepts, they know what, for example, your your AI just blocked, and that's a good move. Um, that is definitely something that the AI needs to understand is that I was about to create a Yugo on D4. Your AI understands it should block that. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see where this game is going to go. And I can let the AI play here on D2 and create a Yugo. If it does, I would probably jump in and create a Yugo here on D4. The question is, do I want that? Because right now it's got two Yugos, and then it would have, pardon me, and then it would have a Yugo with, it's got two Migos. It would have a Migo on either side. I could block that now, but you know what? I'm going to let it go and just see what happens. So if I let it create, then I will create, and I'm going to play here for now. And this is very interesting because I'm playing against a computerized opponent. I don't know what the information is that it has been provided with. So I blocked here. So the AI could create a Yugo here instantly. and have two connected Yugos, in which case I would want to block here. Okay, so let's see if it understands what it needs to do. I know what it should do if I play here on C1. And let's see if it knows probably the best response to that. And if you are new here, this is a game called Migoyugo and Alion. Yeah, that was probably not the best move, and I'll tell you why. Because there's a Yugo on either side. Now, if the AI creates a Yugo by building a fourth piece, this Migo disappears, and I've basically got that space trapped. I can then create my own Yugo on C2, which is going to block this line. And I'm going to take advantage of that right away. So I'm not saying that the AI is playing poorly. I'm saying that it gave me an easy opportunity to block this permanently with the Yugo. And we'll see where this goes. Now, I have two Yugos, but they're not connected. They aren't on the same horizontal, vertical, or diagonal line. Now, it might want to build up here. So let's go here. I don't really want to remove F2. So I don't really want to create a Yugo on this column, because in doing so, F2 would disappear. Then the opponent would have a chance to build here. But again, this is very interesting. I'm not sure where it's going, but if it beats me, I'm all for it. From the time I created this game, I realized I'm going to need to create a strong AI opponent. And the reason for that is because you don't always have someone that you can play with. You don't always have a friend or a ready opponent who's available to play. And so if you come to this game and say, I'm going to go to Migoyugo and play a game, it would be good to have a it would be good to have an opponent available to you at any time. Now, where are we going? Now, where are we going? Okay, so it could create a Yugo here if F4 disappears. It might want to get in here and build in that direction. Okay, I find that a little bit curious because this Yugo is blocking this column, but it might be building along the bottom. So what I would want to do is to create a Yugo on the bottom to block it permanently. Um, because right now the pieces that I'm blocking with are Migos. And as I always say, Migos are ephemeral. They're quite often going to disappear. So this was a curious move too. D6 doesn't seem to connect with anything that's being played already by the AI. So I'm curious to see why that was played when everything is going on down here. And would I rather block here or here? Oh, okay. So perhaps it was proactively blocking there. I can see that. I can see that. Okay, so if I jump in here on E1 and the AI takes D3, then no, that was an interesting move. That was an interesting move. Now, I'm in trouble in as much as these two Yugos are connected and these two Yugos are connected, and I've always got to be careful. When the opponent has connected Yugos, you've always got to be careful because very quickly, that can lead to a very, very dangerous position. So what I want to do is take d3 with a Yugo. I want to block this position with a Yugo. Now, is it going to create a Yugo here and block me? It might do, but then I would create a Yugo here and block it. No, it's not. So I think I'm going to take this Yugo here, and then I will block, and I will also create a line where if d3 disappears, that is going to give me an opportunity. Now, the AI could create a Yugo here, which would be good for the AI, short term anyway. But this is an interesting game. It's certainly different from every other game that we play where we're fighting for control of the center of the board. Now, this looks good for me because I'm going to be able to block this diagonal with a Yugo. I'll connect these two Yugos and these two Yugos. Now, if it builds here, yeah, I think that's good for me. So if it creates a Yugo here, which it may do on c4, this Migo disappears and it loses the game with a DPA, what we call an inside DPA. And I've definitely got to block here. And this is why I said I've got to be careful. And now is it going to build a whole bunch of Yugos along this side? Because right now, my piece on F2 I can't remove it or I lose the game instantly. So I've got to be aware of that. So far, I like what I see. Um, so far, it's certainly showing uh, a level of understanding that is competitive. I like that. I still would like it to fill that. I still would like it to fill that. Welcome to Migoyugo. If you are brand new here, this is a brand new game, so welcome. If you are a regular or a member, I'm playing against Alion, but I'm playing against an engine that Alion created. And I'm very curious to see where we're going to go with this. I don't want to block that. Hey, Pi. Okay, so if it creates, then I block up there. If it creates another Yugo, I should let it. Hey, Boris, how are you? I'm glad you said it, Pi, because I never feel comfortable saying things like that. Don't forget to smash the like button. Okay, so I'm being put to the test here. If I block, I'm blocking with Amigo, like I did down here. If I let it go and it creates a Yugo, then I'm going to block with another Migo. And that's two places I'm going to be in trouble. But I don't want to create a pie here on F5. So I will let it. I will let it. Let's see if the AI takes F5. No, interesting. All right, now, yes, you're absolutely right, Boris. Yeah, that would be bad. I didn't look that far ahead. If the AI plays here, then it can't build down there. Well, I still don't want to take that. But I'm going to block down here. Is it going to build over here? I'll tell you this, and I'm certainly not the strongest Migoyugo player in the world. I was very interested to see how this would play out. I was very interested to see the opening move, I believe, was D1. And so far, um, the the computer's beating me 7 Yugos to 5. And I would say it is very likely, it very likely has the advantage at this point. I would not be surprised if we have an engine that could determine who's ahead. I would not be surprised if you are ahead right now. So we have, okay. Now, let's see what it's going to do about this. Because it, as you said, Boris, it has to block. It has to block on G. Am I getting myself into trouble that I'm not aware of? What on earth is going on? This is always very scary stuff. This is very scary indeed. But I think I have a win. I think I have two win conditions right now. I think I can win in two different ways no matter what the AI does. I think I can play here on C3, create a Yugo, giving me essentially a DPA, or I can play here on C5, giving me a DPA because this is a pie-line. But let's see what the AI does. Either way, it's been a very interesting game. And I'm down 9 Yugos to 6, and you can see that all of these Yugos are connected. C5 is pinned because E5, that's true too. Hmm. Oh, Boris, I, you know, I I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what you think about this game. You came from the world of TAC, and perhaps you're a chess player in other games, I don't know. But I know that in this game, it is so difficult to keep an eye on everything because I absolutely was certain that I could play C3, which would give me a DPA in this direction. But I can't play it because it's going to open up E5, and that's a trapdoor. So, wow. All I can say is, wow, I can't play here. I can't play here. I can't play here. And I am now, why would it go G1? What's the value in G1? That doesn't help in this direction, or in this direction. That's very interesting. Ah, that is very interesting. Hmm, I still can't play here. And I can't play here. And I can't play here, all because E5 is a trapdoor. Wow. What if I play C1 I'm not opening up anything. Then it has to play here. No, that doesn't really help me. It just puts another Yugo on the board. It doesn't really help me though, because these Migos are blocking a lot of stuff down here. So if I play C1, if I play C1, or if I play uh, E6, so if I play C1, this Migo disappears. If I play E6, this Migo disappears. If I play C5, this these two Migos disappear. Either way, in all three of those situations, E6 or E5, pardon me, disappears, which is an instant win for black. So if I play C1, they make a Yugo at E1. I don't see it. If I play C1, they make a Yugo at E1. I don't know what I'm missing here, but I don't see it. But you know what? Let's just get another Yugo on the board. Am I missing something down here? I probably am. I don't know. Now, unless it has a win, it has to block. I'm saying it, Alion. I know you're playing it. So now black. I'm just going to say black. Black can't remove C3, or black will lose. Okay, what is happening up here? Nothing that I'm too excited about, to be honest, but nothing too dangerous. Let's just block at that end. Well, I'm going to say that unquestionably, this engine knows what it's doing well enough to push me um, to the point where there's at least one or two times where I could easily have lost by just making a blunder. Um, and I can't play up here now. Wow, everything hinges on E5. This is amazing. This really is amazing. And I'm 3 minutes down on the clock, and 3 Yugos down. Yeah, A2, but you would think it's going to block there. I mean, okay, it played here. So if I play A2, I'm setting up for a DPA, but it's going to block with Amigo. I'm just going to take my Yugo here first. And it's got to block. And one of the things I like about doing that is it puts my opponent in a bad position, just like I'm in a bad position with E5. I can't remove E5. And right now, the AI has to block on C5, but that piece can't be removed. So that means that A3 and E7 are available to me. But I can tell you, I like this so far. And for the record, I have no problem at all being beaten by an AI. And I really hope that I win, but at the same time, I hope I don't win because that's absolutely going to validate what you've created. Okay, technical troubles. Well, I think there's no question we can all agree that C5 is going to be played next. So take your time. You've still got an extra 2 minutes on the clock with me. So do what you need to do. And it looks like we've got a few more people. So who have we got in the room right now? We've got Pi, we've got Boris, we've got Alion. Did I miss anyone? Did I see anyone else? Um, Pi and Alion are signed in. C5 is a pi line. It is indeed a pi line. Well, I guess I would have found that out. I'm going to call it a blind spot. I I absolutely saw these three Yugos and didn't even look at F2. So, I mean, there's one thing I'll say right now, I didn't see that was a pi line until you pointed it out. Now, obviously, I would have figured it out when I tried to play here on C5 and it didn't accept the move. But that's, I mean, that's an absolute blind spot. I did not even see it. But there's so much going on. There is so much going on. And you think, okay, well, I mean, there's only one, two, three, four, maybe half a dozen spaces that really impact what's happening. But, the truth is, so I would really like for black to play h3. If black plays h3, that would absolutely be fine with me because then I could create a Yugo here, which would open up f2 that black can't play on because it's a pi line, and that removes my pi line, and then black would have to fill c5. He's not going to do it. Okay, well, I've got to I and here's where the game turns into a race for a Wego. I'm either going to lose with a Yugo or a Wego because I'm down two Yugos and I can't place a piece on e6. So these two Migos can't make a Yugo. And these Yugos can't form a line of four unless I play well, I'll do it now. I'll play a2. But if black blocks, I'm running out of literally running out of space where I can create a line of four of my own pieces. There's only so many places you can create a line of four, and I'm just running out. So at some point you get to a point in the game where you realize I can't create any more lines of four unless some Migos disappear. Now, if some Migos disappear, that would be great because, for example, there is a Migo here on C3 that can't be removed. And it's just created another one. I'm just going to do this and try to create some more Yugos. I don't think there's any hope of me getting out of this alive apart from winning on the clock. And I wouldn't do that at this point. I still can't create a line in this direction. Um, I'll leave that for you. So I know that the AI can't play on A5. Is that going to help me? Possibly. He can't play on A5. So let's see if it's going to let me create a Yugo on A2. If not, I can play up here on A6. It doesn't. Okay. So now is it going to block me here? If it does, it'll lose. So I don't think it will because it's smarter than that. I believe it's smarter than that. It knows what it's doing. Now that doesn't help me. It just gives me another Yugo. And really, at this point, all I hope for is the ability to create a few more Yugos and not not lose to an Igo. But I mean, this piece here, D7, is probably going to mess me up. I mean, look at this. Well, I'm okay here because that's a pie line. So it's it's not easy. But I'm literally running out of places where I can create Yugos. Like I'm guessing it's probably going to take A6. Does it understand that it's just cramping me and it's just taking space? Maybe. Maybe it does understand that, but I mean, where else can I play now? Where can I create uh, another Yugo? I can't do it. I think this would be an interesting game. I think it's probably going to go to a Wego if I'm very careful. I still, so that's, no, there's no pie line there. I can't play here. Man, it's amazing. The linchpin to this whole game is E5. This silly little Migo on E5 that I can't remove. It's amazing. It's amazing. I can't even play a Yugo. It knows too. I can't play a Yugo here. Now it's got to block. And huh, do I have a chance? That's a pie line. That doesn't help me unless this piece disappears. No, I think it's just toying with me now. I think it knows I'm so far behind that it really doesn't need to do much of anything except just take up space. But I know that it cannot play, black cannot play here on F2, but G1 is just going to block me out. Um, ah, wow, I didn't even see what was going on up there. What was going on up there? Okay. Yeah, I blocked earlier and I opened it. Well, I'm going to say GG. That's awesome. And and I'm glad I lost. And I really mean that because this is exciting for me. 8 months ago, I started working on creating, uh, I'll call it an AI opponent. I know it's not AI, but an engine, a robot, a bot, computerized opponent, what have you. And I've never been able to create anything that is strong enough to beat a competent human. And there's no question that this, what you've created, is absolutely competent, is absolutely capable of at least holding its own against me. And I'm, as far as how many people in the world play this game, I'm fairly competent. So I'm going to say good for you. I'm going to say thank you very much. I'm going to say congratulations. And that was awesome.